Hello, James here. Hope you have a good day, good morning, good afternoon. In this video, I wanted to dedicate this to the black women need to really listen. And black women, like I made the video about the Jonathan Major situation, um, which was very important. But people want to know why, how come black men are doing, they now, why are black men going to these other nationalities of women? And I heard a couple of well-known commentators. One is Miss Lady Boulay, the other one is Miss Deborah, and other black women. And this is what if they ever get a chance, or someone among their people that's one of their subscribers need to understand. You need to listen to what the men are saying. You need to listen to us sometimes. And I'm gonna show you this video why. I'm gonna let the women speak for themselves. I'm gonna go to a couple and the commentators gonna tell you themselves. You also gonna hear from a couple of passport bros and an attorney to let you know what effect is it happen and the reason why women are women, why the black men and black women are separate. And sometimes there are some black men that were upset that on this one page, but it's mainly coming from black women and what is taking effect. And like some women, they don't use wisdom, but they use emotion. But now that I start this intro, this video is gonna be kind of long, so be prepared because I'm just gonna show the whole explanation, and hopefully I can put in my commentary after that. All right then.
You don't feel no type of way when you see like a black man with like a white girl?
That's funny. That's funny.
Why is that funny?
That's funny because when you see a black woman and a white man, you see what I'm saying? It's not the same. When you see a black man with a white woman, 9 times out of 10, they disrespecting black women within that.
Saying that whenever black men date outside their race, is negative energy towards black females. But whenever black females date outside their race, they don't care. They're not worried about what black men are doing.
When we get with a white man, we don't give a fuck about what anybody else is doing. We're worried about our relationship, but within these relationships where these black men are with these white women, she's too ghetto, she's too loud, because you see what I'm saying, this white woman gives them that submissiveness that apparently they're missing. But in other sense, you see what I'm saying, you only get a submissive woman when you deserve one.
Good morning, beautiful. I cooked you breakfast. It's on the stove. Yeah, I seasoned it. The fuck you need that I season it? Why wouldn't I season food? So you really just gonna take my shit and re-season it? Why do you think I can't season food for? Cause you on that bullshit. That's cool. Bet I don't cook for your ass again.
I'm Marlena.
I'm Tommaso.
I'm from Virginia Beach, Virginia.
I'm from Florence, Italy.
We live here in Miami, Florida. We met on Bumble here in Miami.
So, thank you, Bumble.
Thanks, Bumble.
You can follow me.
Black women. I literally just walked out of a fashion store. And as I was walking to my car, the car park next to me was backing up. So what I did was I stopped and allowed them to back up. And something told me to just look through the windshield. I looked through the windshield and guess what I see? A beautiful dark-skinned sister with a Brad. They were the cutest interracial couple, and I really wish I had caught them before they got into the car. Okay, so I'm just smiling. I made sure to smile at them. The point of the story is, when I tell you that more black women are starting to open up their options, I'm telling the truth. Because literally every week I'm starting to see more and more black women dating out. Literally every week I'm starting to see more and more black women opening up their options. And I cannot tell you guys how happy that makes me. Go wherever you are loved. You deserve it, and I am for it. May God bless that couple. God, I wish I could have recorded them. Damn.
I respect this commenter so much for saying the quiet part out loud, because every single time I tell a good story about my husband, something nice that he did for me, like when he bought the burial plot for my mom next to his mom when my mother died unexpectedly while we were dating, or when I tell the story about how he gave me a budget to redecorate his home that I had moved into so that way I would feel more welcome in his space. Anytime I tell a story like that, there is a flood of people who rush to the comments who try to find out what color my husband is.
Now, what she's speaking about is the fact that whenever she talks positive about a man or someone who she's with, people tend to automatically think she's talking about a white guy.
Like, oh my God, there's no way that these people believe that my husband could be black. So they run to my comments or they run to my page and they search through until they find my wedding video and they're like, I knew it, her husband's white, gotcha. And it's like, there's this obsession with the color of my husband. And there's an obsession with the fact that I'm a stay-at-home mom, I'm a housewife, and they see me in a position of ease or comfort, and they say there's no way that she's with a black man. And then they feel like, ooh, confirmation, she's married to a white guy. I was right, she sold out to live a better life. And they run to my comments and they say things like, you married a man just for money, and you did this, and you sold out, and every single time. And I don't know when we will move past this idea in the black community that we black women must suffer in our relationships. We must never date outside of our race, and we must suffer. Now, I'm not really sure. It's the year of our Lord 2023. I was hoping we would be past this, but the amount of abuse I get in my comments from people regarding my interracial marriage is absolutely beyond me. Now, this young lady was kind. She's kind. She's saying, hey, it's okay, right? It's okay. But she said the quiet part out loud and is admitting that once she heard that I was being treated nicely, that my husband did this nice gesture for me, she did kind of think, yeah, he's probably white. And she was right in that assumption because my husband is white. But when will we normalize seeing black women in relationships that are healthy, that put them at ease, that don't require their armor, that don't always require their strength, where they can just be ladies? You know, when that's normal, people won't run to my comments or run to my page to confirm a bias that they already have about what they think black women's relationships should look like. And a lot of them feel like, gotcha, because I'm married to a white man. Listen, it's so funny to me because sometimes people will be in public describing me and my husband. Like, oh, we're looking for the lady, you know, she's a black lady, she has a white husband, and they have a beautiful little interracial kid. And I'd be like, who? Oh my God, who is that? I don't know. And I'd be like, oh, they're talking about me. Because yes, I know my husband's white. Yes, I know my son is biracial. It's not in the forward front of my mind every single day. He's just my husband and that's just my kid. But to other people online, if I posted screenshots of the things that people say to me on this app in the year of our Lord 2023, it's wild to me. It's wild to me. I don't know when we're going to move past this, but I know black women married to black women who live in positions of ease. I know black women married to Latino men and Asian men and all around, and they are fine. And I just think that once we normalize that, people won't go rushing to confirm their biases. Because I'm not saying what anyone else should do with their relationships. You date and you marry along whatever lines fit you, but just know that I chose to go with who celebrated me, not who tolerated me, who loved me, provided me, and cared for me. And I am happy here. And no matter where you land, ladies, I hope you find the one that rides for you.
Hold on. Watch what this guy say.
Why is it that nowadays whenever you see a black woman dating a white man, it's almost always like the most goofy, dorky version of a white dude you can think of?
Now, pretty much, he's saying that why when black females date white guys, why they go for like the nerdy type or the type who doesn't have any swag?
It's like, you realize that there's white dudes out here that will date black women that are normal looking, go to the gym, played sports, have some swag. You don't, it's like, and I understand where it's coming from because there's this misconception that when you date a white guy, he's going to treat you better than his black counterparts, which is not true because there's white men that use and abuse women just as there is black men that use and abuse women. Like, there's good and bad from every ethnicity. So you can kind of tell when someone is dating for safety or financial security or any of the other reasons that women date other than, attraction and personality. It just doesn't make sense to me because there's plenty of white dudes out here that'll date black women that aren't complete freaking dorks. It's like, and I've got no dog in this fight. Like, I'm married, happily married, I found my queen, I've got 3 kids. Like, this has no personal, interest in me, but I have seen, some anger coming from, the black male community, and then I put over this issue, and I put myself in their shoes, and I think, man, if all of my sisters were out there, dating only, goofy parts of a different ethnicity, that might kind of irritate me too. It's like, this is more so yes, this is a TikTok post, but it's also a legitimate question. Has anyone else noticed that interracial couples where it's black woman, white dude, it's just the most obnoxiously dorky, goofy white guy, not a regular looking white guy. I'm curious, man.
I ain't got nothing to say on that one.
So once again, you got another one screaming like a banshee online, telling men about paying their bills. Let's go roll.
You know what? I don't want another motherfucker to offer to take me out to eat, to take me to the movies, to take me nowhere. Unless y'all asking me, can y'all pay my motherfucking bills? Straight up. You want me to give you my time? You want me to come through kill? You want me to get my motherfucking hair done, my makeup done, and everything else, just to come out and go on a motherfucking date, and we ain't talking about no bills. Real men get time from me. Real men get the with me, cause real men pay bills. You little boys want to take a out to eat, take a to the movies. I don't want to do that. The only thing I want from it is my bills paid. Straight up. We can't do nothing else but that. I'm trying to secure the bag. And the bag can be secured if we're
Fellas, if you don't remember anything I ever told you, remember this. If a woman starts off telling you about paying her bills, you don't know her, first and foremost, she broke. You don't want a broke woman. Just like a woman don't want a broke man, you don't want a broke woman. Because this woman is broke financially and broken mentally. Because for a woman to be talking to some strange man about paying her bills that she don't even know, she has no kind of common sense. Why would you put yourself even in a position like that? Another thing, fellas, going into 2024, you need to be anti-witchcraft. Now, what I mean by anti-witchcraft, all that mess on her face, it's witchcraft. Because witchcraft is used to deceive people. You understand? And she is deceiving you how she looks.
Jezebel.
How do we knew that she was not born a he? You understand?
Jezebel.
You don't know. See, this is the thing. It's gotten so bad with the witchcraft that you have the trans woman and the biological woman wearing the same makeup, the same lashes, the same wigs, the same everything. So you cannot even really tell a difference these days, the way it is with the biological woman and the trans woman. One thing that the trans woman is going to do is make sure that the makeup or the witchcraft is very, very out there, right? So as a man, you need to say this. Women who wear that kind of makeup, like you saw in that video, is disqualified. Completely disqualified from you talking to them, from you hollering at them.
That's why it's a passport.
Look, I want y'all to know this something. You guys that travel overseas, and you've seen it, when you get outside the Western world, the women don't wear makeup like that. Think about it. No matter if you go to the Latin America, the Caribbean, well, it depends. You got to be careful in some places. But for the most part, outside the Western world, the Caribbean too, the African continent, you know, the Asian world, you don't really see that kind of makeup as the norm. Not saying people don't do it there, but not as the norm. You understand? It's still more of a natural look. Or if you're wearing makeup, it complements you. You still look like yourself. You don't look like one person today, and then you take all that mess off. And then there's the thing. You don't want them to have all that witchcraft on their face, because then they wipe all that foundation off, and then what if their skin looks so jacked up? It's like, oh my God, what is up with your skin? Because they chose not to take care of it. Because they're not working with their dermatologist. They're not eating the right way. They're not drinking enough water as they should. Because listen, if you don't see a woman drinking water at all, something going on. What you mean you don't drink water? I don't like water. What? Our bodies need water. What do you mean you don't like water? Every time I look up, you're drinking a freaking liquid diabetes. That freaking Coke or all that. That's liquid diabetes. You drink that mess every day, it's guaranteed to make you gain weight. Guaranteed. Like, no, you need to actually go drink you some doggone water. Think about your health. All that sugar and all that not even real sugar. High fructose corn syrup. Fake sugar at that. Whoop. Tan your skin up. Man, you gotta take that stance. Because look, if you look more about the natural look, you're gonna lessen your chances of encountering a trans woman. Because I'm talking about you straight men. You don't want to deal with trans women. So
I know I wouldn't.
If she's wearing no makeup, even better. You see her or whatever without it. That way, if she put it on, you know how she look. And she'll have to put all that, like, you know, caking that mess on there. No. You know, there was one point in time, I seen one sister make a video, she was right. She said all a woman would do is just kind of do their mascara, you know, their eyelashes. They just put some lotion on their face and wear lip gloss, like the different flavored lip gloss. That's all they would wear. And she's right. That look, I remember that look. I sure do. And it still had a natural look. It didn't look like it was all made up or anything. Like she said, they'll focus more on their outfit than doing all that mess. Of course, do their hair. But that's how they were looking. And they didn't have, if you notice, especially people like in my age group or maybe a little younger, you notice the ladies didn't have all these skin problems like you see today.
Right.
When they wasn't wearing all that mess. That makeup messes y'all skin up. All that foundation you putting on your face is full of chemicals. You don't need all that. Especially if you are black. You don't need all that. You need anything, get out in the sun and get you some good vitamin D. Shoot, Latinas, they don't need it either. I see a lot of them don't wear makeup on a good day, right? They don't need it.
Right.
You see a lot of, especially your darker Asians, they don't need it. I ain't talking about the white looking ones. I'm talking about the darker ones. They don't need it. So going into 2024, men, the natural look, you gotta sit up there and prioritize a natural look. Natural hair. When you see a sister got some natural hair, say, hey sister, I like your hair, look nice. Trust me, that short little line, not to say you're interested or nothing, you just say it look nice. Give them a compliment. That literally encourages them to keep doing it when a brother gives them say their hair look nice. Believe it or not. I've heard them say it time and time again. Yeah, when the brother say that, it encouraged me to wear it even more. If you trust me, them wigs and all that mess, all them wigs, that's what trans women wear. So you want to get them further and further away from all the fakery, right? It's going to take you men to do it. Now, if you checked out the process and you say, I'm done with it, they can do whatever they want to do, then I'm not talking to you. But some of the men that's still trying to hopefully find somebody here, you got to push that kind of movement. The natural movement. Natural. We're not saying natural as in don't wear deodorant or lotion or nothing like that, but natural as in what that sister talked about. You just put some lotion on your face, some lip gloss, and some mascara, and you get your hair done, and your outfit look good. You don't have to do much for yourself, right? But them saying about paying bills, that's a broke woman. That's broke, and she got that prostitute mentality I told y'all about. Transactional prostitution. No. Take your broke self somewhere else. Let some other simp pay your bills. Because no real man will come over there and just opening his wallet to some woman he don't know, loud mouth, talking about some bills. Or the same thing, I don't go to this particular restaurant. Okay, don't worry about it. You won't go to none at all with me. Don't worry about it.
What's going on, family? What's going on? What's happening? Thank y'all for tuning into another discussion today on Tailor-Made Dreams.
Time to listen to the men.
All right. Now, today's discussion, conversation, I asked a question. I posed a question. Are Western women less happy now that they have more? Now, that ain't no trick question. Pretty much we know the answer. We pretty much know the answer. What's up, Christopher? First one in the house tonight, salute to you. But are Western women less happy now that they have more? You know, it's there's an old joke, and we'll get into that. But we're going to start the channel the way we normally do, while we wait for some folks to come up in the house, and we'll go ahead and get into discussion.
Now he's over in another country. Now he's over in another country. This is what one black men who have it all. You have stuff together, and there's many more like him. Listen to what he got to say. This is the reason why they're leaving. Some black men are leaving. And also, he's not the only one that said this. Black women need to listen. Direct comment.
What's going on, fam? What's going on? I just want to share something with you. Because, I was just thinking about this, man. And you could go on YouTube or any platform and just see women complaining about men, complaining their hair too short, just complaining. And it's crazy because modern women have way more than any other woman in the history of the world, right? And they got a lot of shit working for them, right? They got a lot of shit working for them. Let's be honest. I'm gonna bring this lady up in a second. They got the feminist movement going. They got the Me Too movement going. They got Seal the Bag Grift going, endorsed by the courts. They got a lot of shit going. So why are they so fucking unhappy and complaining? And especially complaining on passport bros, the blue book gentlemen, whatever you want to call them. Men who decide to take their passport and say, hell with this, I'm tired of these complaining, unhappy women. That's making me crazy. Why? Why?
Women, listen to what he's saying.
Somebody said they're confused. Well, I was looking on this other channel. I like to kind of go back and forth on other channels just to see what's happening. And this lady said something very interesting. Right, so this lady is named Camille Paya. She's like big in this feminist movement, right? Which women don't know. It ain't working out the way they want. But she's big in this feminist movement, and now a lot of these women are doing a 360, right? So they're doing a 360, especially older women. So we're going to get into this video real quick. Shout out to my girl Brittany Sellner. I got it from her channel. And she had this perfect opening, and I'm gonna let this lady just talk. And I'll let the feminists speak for themselves. And we know that the feminist movement is a big movement by who? Started by who? White women, right? Well, let's see what they're saying now.
Now, I notice wherever I go in the world, actually, that upper middle class career women are very unhappy. They're very unhappy, okay, even though they've achieved a certain status. And what I'm saying is that feminists have to stop blaming men for their own unhappiness. The unhappiness is due, I believe, to huge systemic changes that women, for thousands of years, women had their own worlds. There was the world of women, and there was the world of men. And the sexes didn't have that much to do with each other. Okay? This is a brand new experiment to have this new system where now women can be economically independent now. They're no longer dependent on father or husband or brother, okay, for their sustenance, right? And they're working side by side with men in the workplace, right? This is an experiment. It's never happened before, right? I was saying in the book that we may have to accept a certain amount of tension between the sexes in the workplace, right? The feminist idea that if we can just suppress men enough, women will be happy. I say no, okay? I say, okay, and it's on the basis of my own experience as a child in an Italian-American immigrant community, okay, is that what women have lost is the old solidarity that they once had when they totally ruled the private sphere. The women's life all day long was with other women once, multi-generational, older women, okay, as well as the children, right? It was a huge tribal experience. And now what women are feeling is a sense of isolation and loneliness, disconnection, okay, from their old function. I'm not saying to go back. That's not what I'm saying. I'm just saying stop blaming men.
All right, so we can stop right there. So now even the feminists, right? Now even the feminists are saying stop blaming men for your own misery that you set up. But she said one word, right? One particular word that stands out, especially from women in the black community. So we're going to actually take another look at another clip, right? We'll actually take another look at another clip. And we're going to actually take another clip. And just listen to the one word, listen to the theme, right? The theme of this one word that stands out that women just not hearing themselves say, right? Because Camille Paya just said, she said it twice, independent. And you know sisters always saying this shit, independent. So let's hear. Let's hear from another expert from the other side of the aisle.
God's sake anymore, or soon 2000, you know what I mean? But like this is like an era where I don't have to come home and cook every night. We can afford, if I'm independent, you're independent, we can afford a nanny. We can afford a chef to come meal prep for us, because I just eat meal preps anyway. So we can afford somebody to do our meal preps. Like, we can afford this lifestyle to where it's not taken away, So now that I'm independent, I'm working the same hours you working, you know what I'm saying? Like, we can afford to do that together. And we can still afford, now that we're both independent making money, it's not all on you. So now we're going on vacations. So where are the arguments coming from? You know what I'm saying? Like, what's life right now? Like, to me, it sounds amazing. This is not the 80s, 70s, 90s, 2000s for God's sake anymore, or some 2000s, shut up.
Alright, so what was her one theme word throughout the whole thing? Independent, 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 independent. Ladies, yes, you're more educated, right? You got less sense, but you're definitely more educated. Yes, you have more economical independence, right? You're making more money. Yes, you're buying your own houses, your cars, jewelry, right? But you're miserable. This is why, and this is for any lady watching this video. I'm going to tell you a secret. This is going to blow your mind. Gonna blow your mind, ladies. I need you to listen. I got a few ladies that sneak up in here.
Tell Russ.
No man wants a woman that's independent.
Right.
Why? If I wanted a woman that was independent, I would just be by myself, and I'd have independent women lined up as I go through them. How can you be in a relationship, a marriage, and be independent at the same fucking time? Because women married will tell you that they independent. Imagine your wife saying she's independent. I'm not even bullshitting. Women who are in committed relationships, I'm independent. What man wants an independent woman? That means you might as well be by yourself. I surely might as well be by my damn self. I mean, seriously, it's like they're not getting it. And then they want to talk about, those brothers, those guys, those men, they're getting those passports and going to those poor countries and dealing with all those poor women. Let's say if that's true, right? And in some cases it is. But what's the message, ladies, you're getting from that? If a man decides, and I dated 2 millionaires in my lifetime, right? Back in the day. They were like the most problem women ever, most miserable women. That I prefer to date a woman from a small village, or from the barrios in Dominican Republic. So if I prefer that over your millionaire status, what does that tell you? I don't give a shit about your money. I don't give a shit that you can buy your own house, car, whatever. I don't care. Because guess what? I'm a real man. And real men, just because you got your own money, I'm happy for you. What does that do for me? What does it do for me? I could buy my own goddamn car too. I take myself on vacation like you. Your money status ain't got nothing to do with can you bring me some fucking peace.
Exactly.
Do you mind cooking a meal for me? Do you mind giving me a plate?
Exactly.
Do you mind fixing me a plate? I mean, do you mind?
Exactly.
Do you mind cooking? Ladies, I have to cook. We hire a chef. They're not even listening to their own goddamn selves. They already know the answer. They just ain't listening to themselves.
That's
Matter
what.
of fact.
That's what.
I'm gonna play something for you.
That's what.
That I think is
That's what.
is important.
Boom.
As a matter of
That's
fact,
it.
it's one of my actually one of my shorts. So I'm gonna hear what you got to say. I'm gonna hear what you got to say, but I just want to play this clip real quick. Let me go ahead and set it up. Let me play this clip real quick. And this is exactly what I mean. So this is exactly what I mean. Alright, so let me go to the clip.
I don't care about slavery
or the Holocaust?
Oh, Mabel.
All I know is I always loved making my Clarence a plate.
What's that, Grandma?
Well, when we came up, it was different from the way it is now. When a black man went out into the world, they treated him like he wasn't a man. So the least I could do when Clarence came home was make him a plate. Make him feel like he was somebody. Let him know that somebody loved him, even though the world didn't.
Now that's old school, common fucking sense.
Boom.
She said, I can at least make him a plate to let him know I love him, somebody care about him,
Exactly.
even though the world don't.
Thank you.
That's bringing a man peace.
Right.
That's bringing a man peace.
Right.
Not your corporate image. Fuck the guy do my piece. I want to hear what y'all got to say. Let me just go back. Yeah, that man, Kevin, that's so true. Kev says the answer is yes. They can't make up their mind what they want. They confuse themselves. That they absolutely do. What's going on, Ty Stein, against the banking? Bankster. Passport privilege. What's going on? And it is a privilege to have that passport, so you don't have to deal with all this craziness of these women. Now, the ladies they got another victim. Y'all heard about Ben Diesel, right? Yeah. They dropped a lawsuit on Ben Diesel. Oh, all these. Listen, if your ass had some money, they be dropping. Listen, if my channel blew up to Kevin Samuels, I would have a couple dropped on me. Why? Not because I did anything, because they smell money. Oh, I slept with Russell Taylor. Slept with Russell Taylor in 1974. I slept with Russell Taylor in 1982. I remember in 83, women are so miserable now, having much more than they've ever had in any generation, that now that they see men still being happy, because for the most part, at least the people I hang out with are happy men. Most of the men I hang out with have a passport too, right? So I ain't talking about cats without a passport. That's your thing. You want to stay miserable and stay on the plantation, do your shit. But the men I know got passports, and women hating it. Now especially these men are putting up these gorgeous women that they're dating, that they're marrying, that they're being successful with. Look at Brother Andre from Love Crossing Borders. You know, Richie Mack, Beautiful L. They've been together a number of years. And women are hating this shit. Why you gotta put it out there? Remember, in that video that we talked about, the chick, the Richie Mack video, the one that totally cut the nuts off her husband, said, well, why you gotta put it out there? Why you gotta put it out there? That means I don't want to see it. I'm gonna tell you, if you ever get divorced, if you're ever going through a divorce, the worst thing your woman, your ex, or soon to be ex, hates to think is that he's happy without me. That's when they want blood. If you notice, listen, me and my ex-wife was having an amicable divorce before she went for the juggler. Then she found out I had a girlfriend. Once she found out I had a girlfriend, it was gloves off. Because in her mind, she hated to think this motherfucker is happy and getting some pussy at the same time. I'm telling you. And women hate to see a man happy, especially if you left their ass. But what they say, 70% of the time, it's women who file fucking divorce. 70% of the time, and you know, marriage is like 51, 52% of marriage. And 70% of the time is women filing the fucking divorce.
You either gonna be in a relationship or you gonna stand on business.
First of all, sis, I'm gonna do both, okay? I'm gonna be in a relationship and I'm gonna stand on business because I understand first that the relationship with myself is my priority, okay? I think that a lot of women have this misconception that in order to be in a relationship, you gotta settle. You gotta be unequally yoked. You gotta reduce your needs, your desires, your wants, and you gotta compromise. Compromise for what? Compromise for what reason?
Well, the reason is simple. You have to compromise because you have no choice. Especially when you don't have the looks equivalency to what men actually go for. You're not attractive enough, and if you're a certain age. So one way or another, women, when you're outside of your peak, you're gonna have to settle whether you like it or not. You happen to be on this boat, the boat of not settling, and while you're breathing up all the air in the room with those gigantic nostrils. But this is just dog crap advice that typical modern women give to other women.
To compromise? What is compromise? You have to understand that having that relationship with yourself first is going to be the catalyst to all your other relationships. And as long as you don't have a relationship with yourself, as long as you don't stand on business when it comes to your relationship with you, you will not stand on business in a relationship with somebody else. You as an individual matters more than you joining up as a collective and still not having your individuality. You see what I'm saying? But when you set your boundaries while you're dating, when you set your boundaries on your self-love, how you talk to yourself, how you treat yourself, how you love yourself, the way you think of yourself, you will ensure that you will not attract people who do not align with your belief system. The reason you attract people who can't raise up to the occasion of loving you is because you have not raised up to the occasion of loving you. The reason you can't stand on business in a relationship is because you're not standing on business with the relationship you have with yourself. That's important. Because when I set my boundaries with me and I say, hey Kai, I'm not doing this anymore. I want to talk to myself nicely. I want to spoil myself. I want to love myself. I want to not spend time in rooms and in environments where people cannot celebrate and take me seriously. That's what I'm doing for me long before a man shows up in my life, so that when he shows up, he has to mind.
Shut the up. The narcissistic and solipsistic attitude at this point is just over 9,000. It's off the chart. The fact that women like this can't find a man, whether it be yoked or unequally yoked, they can't even get a guy to slide on them, is absolutely crazy. It's astounding. Just the amount of just like full of herself that she's become, and how she talks about herself and saying how she has to be right with herself and everything got to be working for her in her favor. She's only thinking about herself. She's thinking that the man is going to come in and she's going to be the man and he's going to have or play second fiddle to her. And that's not going to happen. So she might as well just be talking to herself and dealing with herself and loving herself. All of this self-centered garbage. You know what I'm saying? So you got to understand too, there's going to be a rise. There's already a rise now in women that are going into homelessness. And I won't be surprised in about 10 to 15 years, you see her pushing a cart, talking to herself with a parrot on her shoulder in downtown Atlanta. I would not be surprised. But this is absolutely ridiculous listening to women talk. Because if you let them talk, they give dog shit advice. They say a bunch of bull crap that doesn't do anything but make them look less and less desirable at their big age and makes them look ridiculous while she continues to breathe up all the air in that little small space that she is in right now.
I do not wish to be unequally yoked with nobody. I mean no business partners, no friendships, no family, and no husband, and no boyfriend. I don't wish to be unequally yoked, and this is how I stand on business.
3 levels of leftover women in Chinese. Level 1, 剩女 means leftover woman, over 30, not married. Level 2, 圣斗士 means leftover warrior, over 35, not married. Level 3, 必胜客 means unescapable leftover women, over 40, not married.
The minute that you make your relationship with the other person bigger than your relationship you have with yourself, that's the minute you stop standing on business. That's the minute you start idolizing the relationship and not taking yourself as a priority. And that's why you feel like you can only either be in a relationship or you can stand on business and be by yourself. You can actually do both.
Yeah, this woman is clearly full of herself, and no, you can't do both, man, because a man is not going to accept that. Unless you're trying to get with some beta male simp guy that you don't really like, you can run all over. Yeah, you can do that to him, but a true, strong, masculine man, because this girl's front, the thing is, she can't get the relationship, but a true masculine man, as I was saying, if he's going to come into the picture, which is what you really want, he's not going for that. All of this crap you're talking right now, you're talking because you're single, you're hurt, and nobody is sliding in your DMs, nobody finds you attractive, and nobody wants to put you in a relationship. Women that act like this, talk like this, that are just completely full of themselves, they start, singing this tune when people don't pay them any attention and they want attention. So she's looking for validation, attention from somebody, even if it's the same sex, even if it's the sisterhood. That's how sad these type of women are. Like, it's ridiculous listening to this garbage. Like, it's making my stomach turn, but I'm doing this for you guys and, what's going on with modern women in this dating market. It's horrendous.
But first you gotta establish a good relationship with yourself.
Yes, if you're trying to be alone, single, by yourself, of course, you can love yourself, have a relationship with yourself. A man's not going to come into that picture. You're never going to get one. And if you're of a certain age, just like the Asian woman said, if you're a Xing Nu and you're over 30 years old or 35 or 40, it's pretty much a high probability that you're never going to get the type of man that you want or of any type of man. You can get a dude, that's going to slide on you, some like low value guy who's making way less than what you want, way less or out of your league or out of your standards. Even he is going to get sick of you. Even he's going to try to find some other cat on the side. That's just how this goes.
Right,
but
that's true.
For what you're actually looking for,
that's very true.
Kevin, just go ahead. RIP, man. Kevin Samuels, he would have said it best. This is exactly what you could just look forward to if you were trying to have a relationship with yourself.
Buy a dog and die alone.
First of all, y'all not be talking about my culture.
I think the problem was between black men, passport bros, and black women. And it was the passport bros that were disrespecting black women, and then black women just responded.
Yeah. Okay, now let's stop the cat, man. Let's cut it out, man. Because y'all been getting away with murder for a long time. And the thing is, you guys been talking about dudes, especially black men, for the longest. Now, the guys responded. They didn't really say anything about black women. They just went out there, they shot their videos, they did their thing, and black women responded. And then you had other women from other cultures responding. And then you made it about the black man because you don't want to respond to those people. That's the thing. You don't want to go at the women that are overseas because those women that are overseas, they'll set you straight. They're actually whooping y'all asses in the race when it comes to getting relationships right now. Guys getting passports, those women are getting married and in relationships at a higher rate. They're making men more satisfied, and they're getting satisfied themselves. You guys are still over here making these silly old videos. You guys are trying to figure out who to point the finger at while guys are flying out, dealing with bad bitches, and, having fun, having the times of their lives. So, I don't even want to hear none of this stuff. You know what I'm saying? Oh, I think it was the passport bro said something about black women, and black women came on the scene, and they just responded. Just sounding dumb. Like, that's stupid, man. And even if that did happen, you guys been getting away with saying stuff about black men and passport bros once you found out what they were for the longest time. And then dudes just responded to you. It's not that you responded to them. You said something about their movement. You guys don't have a movement. Your movement is staying in the United States, being single with plants, cats, and dogs, using vibrators, and running off men and losing your value. The Passport Bros movement is to be able to date, get their money right, get the game up, get in shape, understand female nature and their own nature, and travel the world. Go abroad, date over there, marry over there. So it's a movement going on. So it doesn't have anything to do with this. It's absolute nonsense.
It had nothing to do with the Thai and Filipino women. It has nothing to do with whoever they go and see and have
not an issue about where they're going. It was the fact that they felt the need to disrespect black women. Now, one thing about us black women, we know about the struggle.
It's not my fault.
You know, we might not all participate in the struggle, but we know about the struggle. So that's why we do not interfere when you come over and you set up your massage parlors and you sell that thing. We are not trying to interfere with that. I think that you guys think that we're trying to stop your money. By all means, get that $20.
Yeah, the struggle of not being able to date and get and retain a black man or retain a man whatsoever. Yeah, y'all all know about that struggle. Women like you, not all women, but most women that are having your issue. Most women that have an issue with the passport bros and women overseas. And you do make it about them. You see how she tried to be slick with it and then at the end talk about, oh, well, you set up your little parlors to sell that thing. Well, if you want to talk about women going and selling that thing, what's better? Them selling it, having a business opened up because they understand the femininity and the issues here in the West when they set up those parlors, so they give that service off to certain men, or a woman like you that just gave it up for free, that just gone around, got ran through, got your oxytocin completely taken out of you. You can't pair bond any longer, so all you do is sit around and make videos, hoping and wishing back in your subconscious that somebody will take you serious. But yeah, you want to talk about those women and you want to slickly put them towards the end of it and say, oh, it wasn't about you. You see how conniving these type of women can be, these modern women? These women, these...
Hold on. I'm going to show you. I'm going to play a little bit of Dennis's stream.
These prices are low. At Ollie's, we've got name brand toys, gifts, books, housewares.
Not paying attention to the road, operating electronic devices, and drinking while driving can be...
Here he is. Watch this.
American women, specifically black American women, are talking bad and disrespecting women outside of the USA. It's going to happen. And they're going to point that finger directly at you. Now, I know you think that white women are going to stand behind you. In fact, I think it was probably white women who were participating with this early on. But you see how quiet those white women got? They're going to let you stand out front and fight, black woman. They're going to let you be the ones holding the bag saying women from overseas are uneducated, when in actuality they speak 2 or 3 different languages. They're going to be the ones letting you regurgitate that Western white supremacist rhetoric and racism and stereotypes. And it's ironic, because black women are typically the first ones to point out racism and sexism and how women are belittled. And you got the nerve to call women from other races women of color from other races, uneducated, broke, just because they don't speak the same colonizer's language that you do, just because they appreciate black men. And you wonder why a lot of black men don't want to deal with you. You wonder why they're getting their passports and they leave. Now, to the black community, these are the consequences of letting a bunch of bad, loudmouth, foolish women speak freely for decades. And the consequences are that decent, hardworking, respectful black American women will be lumped in with that filth and have to suffer the consequences. Those ladies overseas, those foreign women, they can't tell one weed from another. They're gonna lump all the black women in the same basket. Whether you in the military, whether you there on vacation with your girlfriends, whether you there with your husband, whether you there on business, they're not gonna ask to stop. They're not gonna stop and ask you what kind of black woman you are. This is what happened when we let the ratchets and the mentally unhealed remain as the loudest voices in our community, speaking on our behalf. The thing is, I kind of blame black men for this. Why? Because we know they're like children. And we as black men have been too goddamn nice. We've allowed one-way aggression for so long that these lovely ladies here in the United States believe it's the norm. We as black men have never taught black women the consequences of disrespect. And now they are like spoiled brats acting up and getting spanked by outsiders. And because of their disrespect and their rebelliousness. And we can't protect them from all these people. You can't make it make any more sense than that. You can't. If you give them shelter, if you try to provide cover for them, then you're going to end up catching that fate. If you try to step in between them and these women, those other women's men are going to step in. And you're going to be getting treated just like they are when you get off those planes. Whether you're in the military, whether you're there on business, whether you're there on vacation. My suggestion to you black men is step back and let the Lord work. Because it's humbling time for black American women who have never been humbled before. And let me tell you something else. As I spoke earlier, we are on the cusp of an international incident. And you black American women, as big and bad as you are, you do not want to catch hands from the federal government. And the cold thing about it, these rotten women, these no good ones, don't care if decent black women and girls get hurt. A lot of time, decent black American women, you wouldn't cooperate with your good black men. And part of the reason you didn't is because you know these bad women amongst you are watching you and they would threaten you about being too feminine, about being too cooperative. You know that. Shout out to Mr. Shepard. Look at how these aggressive bad women attack the good black women. They call them pick-me's. They call them slaves and all these horrible names for being good, upstanding women. That's what happens to the ones that actually stand up. But at this particular time, black American women, the good ones, it's time for you to stand up and begin to shut these no good women down. Because all it's going to take is for one of these countries to file a formal diplomatic protest. And the federal government is going to begin to put heat on these social media companies and start cracking down and deleting social media accounts, starting with their devices and taking other measures. And it's going to make their life really uncomfortable, especially if they get put on something like the no-fly list. As men, we understand. Unfortunately, these black American women, they don't have that level of understanding because they haven't had to deal with consequences. Everything they're doing is being done in public. And so it's easily to see that there's going to be a record of that, a public record. These women from the Philippines and Thailand, they don't want to fight with black American women. They would much rather get along. And if they can't get along, they'd rather just be left alone. They have their own lives to live 8,000 miles away. They don't want to be bothered with you. They don't know you. They don't want to be like you. They don't want to live here in the United States. They might want to visit just like sometimes we want to visit other places. They don't want to be bothered with you. And all black American women have to do is just shut the fuck up and leave these women alone. And this whole worldwide war of words will end immediately. And I want to re-emphasize this. Dominican women, Filipino women, Thai women, African women, Vietnamese women, Colombian women, Brazilian women, they never attacked black American women. The drama started when the loudmouth ratchets amongst the black American women felt insecure seeing how well presented these women were and how modest they were and how lovely they were. And more importantly, they learned that black men were traveling to these foreign countries to be with them. Then they wanted to fight. The thing is, you got to understand who you're dealing with. These people are from long-standing cultures that are thousands of years old. They don't want to fight, but they will fight you. And they will fight you forever. And they love their countries, and they love their cultures, and they all will have each other's backs. And all they're doing at this point is they're defending themselves against the verbal and disrespectful attacks laid upon them by black American women. And not all black American women, just the ratchets. The ratchets that we have allowed to speak on our behalf for decades. The low class among us. And all you have to do is shut the fuck up. Just shut the fuck up and this will go away. But they're not going to do that. Their egos will not allow them to shut the fuck up. And like always, the good women are just going to sit by and watch these women pick a fight that you can't win. See, I want you black American women to hear something. See, you good women sit by, good black American women sit by and let the ratchets advance and gain ground, and then you reap the benefit of that. Now, what do I mean by gain ground? The ratchet women go out there and practice all sort of whorish behavior. And even though you may not go to the extent that they will, it allows you just to creep a little bit closer. Your husband said be home at 10, you don't come home to 12. But you're still a good girl because the ratchets are out to 5 in the morning, so you look good. They help gain ground for you. So I'm holding y'all responsible for this too. But what's going to end up happening? See, your hubris lady is going to smack you in the face Will Smith style. They got clips and videos. Women in Thailand talking bad about black American women. Black American women are going viral for all the wrong reasons. The problem is, in order for them to shut the fuck up, all black men would have to do is burn all our passports, make ordering passports for black men illegal, go on all social media and tell all the foreign women we agree with everything black American women say about them. Finally, we have to publicly castrate ourselves, both literally and metaphorically. And then they might be quiet. Aside from that, this war of worlds is going to continue. And it's going to escalate to the point that all black American women are going to suffer the consequences when they go to those other countries. And even so when they are in this country and dealing with those women from those other countries. Because amongst black American women, and I'm talking about the good ones and the bad ones, you have decided collectively that your highest purpose in life is to fight and destroy anything that appreciates, celebrates, and finds worthy the black man. Nevertheless, and as expected, all of this is now the black man's fault. Didn't we see that coming? That is not a surprise. Now that black women are getting drugged across the internet for talking shit about foreign women, calling them uneducated, dirt foot, third world dog eaters, and now they lighting your asses up. Now it's the black man's fault. See, you women created this whole mess, and it continues. Because you thrive off the drama. You thought it was funny. You thought it was cute. You didn't think it was going to be any consequences. Black men don't even want to deal with this type of drama and aggression and beef from these angry women. But they still won't stop. They continue to attack us and every race of woman that might be attracted to us. And here's their playbook. They start a mess, right? They start a mess and then nobody wants to deal with it. And when they realize it's more than they can handle, here comes the victim narrative. We're the least protected. You've heard that before. That's like rousing a snake and then complaining when it attacks you. Somebody said, Tony, yeah, that's really me, Tony. Thank you so much for the super chat. The cash app. And my thing is this, ladies. You ladies have proven to us that you sold us out. You sold us out for what the white man was offering you. His welfare checks, his Section 8. You put the black man out. Now you got a whole movement online where y'all talking about deleting unborn black baby boys. You clearly belong to the white man, so why would we as black men risk our lives fighting for master's property?
Boom.
Why would we do that? Especially when you've been telling the whole world you're strong, independent, and don't need a man.
Said that.
And let me clarify something real quick, because I want y'all to understand where I'm coming from. If I don't do nothing else, I'm not an advocate for black people. Let me say that again. I am not an advocate for black people. I am an advocate for black men and black boys. And some of you black American women still don't get that. You don't understand that. And the truth is, and the reason why you don't want to understand that is because you never expected professional black men like myself, the black men who you said are educated lanes, even though I ain't nowhere near lane shit. Matter of fact, I got more swag than most of you hood ninjas. All day, every day. Nevertheless, that's what y'all think. You never thought educated black men like myself would reject you for your behavior, for disrespecting us publicly and treating us like trash for the past 55 years. Shout out to my man Tony. Thank you so much, bro. Yeah, it's really me. Thank you so much for the cash app.
And I'm going to shorten this right here. Shout out. He had to tell you the consequences. I've been saying this and saying this. I'm telling you, now he's confirming it. And as an attorney, he can confirm the laws that you have, social media and everything. You're only making it bad for business, especially when you do international business, whatever product you're in. You understand what I'm saying? You have to think before you do. This is the reason why. And that's very true. And Cynthia G and Nyla and there's other black women did that stuff. And you have women, older women, the content creators. It was sad to see Cynthia G go. One was a well-known black lady. Well, she has an articulate way of saying it. But deleting black boys? And Dennis is right. That's part of white supremacy. They don't even realize what they're saying. Like Russ said, they don't even know what they're saying. They're so emotional and thinking that you're going to stab at it, but you don't see the vision long term of it. And now, that's it. And now these videos continue. And look here, there's some black men that care about that. But at this point, if you feel led to go over to another race of man based on certain reasons, then go. But see, this is going to push the movement even more. Even some white men are going to leave this country, and other men are going to leave. And you understand, how can you proudly be a part of a culture and a people when you put down your other half? When the man is the patriarch of society. Every culture has its patriarch. You dismiss your patriarch. Arab women, East Indian women, Hispanic women, Russian, European, even some people over in the islands. There's a male patriarch. Polynesia, Micronesia, every society, and you got to be the women, one of very few women that disrespect your patriarch of your men by going online, showing all these other patriarch societies. And it's like, why is that their men are leaving? And why are these black men are leaving? Look what some of these black women have said behind it. And like Dennis said, it's their ego. It's their education. I got to shout you down. No, you're wrong. You have to listen to your other half. That's what all patriarchs of societies of men outside the United States do. And when they come over into this country, they keep that patriarch. Most of them keep the patriarch among your foreigners. That's how I've seen it. I've seen it in the different African groups, different Latino groups, Arabic groups. Yeah, there might be some misgiving, but they ain't putting they blast their stuff out there like that. You know what I'm saying? Because it would look embarrassing in front of the culture. When they already got a bad name. You understand? When you made the face look of buffoonery. This is what this is what Dennis is saying, and the other guys are saying. You're looking like the buffoonery, and the men that do it, they look like some of them that do it, they look like a buffoonery too. Okay with this, but I just wanted to get and say so to the lady content creators. Wonder why are these black men going over? Okay. The ones able to forward it to, now this thing with Jonathan Majors, now this thing with Vin Diesel and other men, and there's our white men that went through it, they exit. Best thing to do, okay, they get out of this mess, gone. And because, like Russ said, women are their mouth is their own destruction. So many women are their own destruction. And it's like they're trying to make it into their way. And the reason why the passport broke, because it has given over to this right. It's the feminist movement fault. It's the Me Too movement fault. Now men are backed away. Men can't even go out and work in the gym no more. Because some women's going to be accusing them, their men been put out of gyms for looking at a woman. You know, you pushing men away, so men gonna go somewhere else when they get themselves in shape and go find a woman that they'll have to counteract with this stuff. And it's almost like you have to do what they do in a Muslim society between men and women, separate. But because of the women, it's pushing in that direction. Go over in the Muslim societies, you see what I'm talking about. The women on one side, the men on the other. Ask your sister Muslim women, they know. Your Arab, your African Muslim women, they know. They know. You think you got it? You think you're something? Ask their society how women are over there. So this video is really to get you thinking. You better appreciate the men that you have here, and really know how to humble yourself. Because you're gonna make it bad in every faction, right? So that was the purpose of this video. So I hope you like and subscribe. But this is not to put down black women. It's just to wake them up and see what's coming. Your men are excellent. So learn to appreciate what you have. Stop complaining. Alright then, be blessed. Take care.